It's time now for our business update, and for that I'm joined by Unka Alea. Hi, how are you?
Hi Annette, I'm good, how are you?
Starting with some market reaction to Shinzo Abe's apparent victory in Japan's elections.
That's right, so we're seeing a very strong response from the markets to what looks like a clear victory for Abe. Japanese shares jumped more than 1% as the yen weakened, the Nikkei seeing its longest winning streak in the nearly 70-year history of the index. Most other Asian markets also closed in the green. Here in Europe, we're also seeing a pretty positive trading session. All major indexes were comfortably trading up this afternoon. Spain's index, the IBEX 35, however, was down 0.3% over concerns of a deepening political crisis. Now for more on the economic implications of that election win for Shinzo Abe's ruling bloc, I'm joined by Seijiro Takeshita, professor at the School of Management and Information at the University of Shizuoka. Thank you for speaking with us. First off, to what extent would you say that Shinzo Abe's economic policies have helped him secure this win?
In fact, quite a great deal. Let's not forget that most Japanese exporters have record earnings, and basically they're flourishing extremely well. The only problem is that the profit that they made really isn't being filtered into the employees' wages. So we're not seeing the second stage, which is private consumption rise. But this is where the Abenomics, or I should say the Abe regime, is waiting for it to happen. Now, as for structural reform, the trajectory of the third arrow is quite different from the first two, so I think we have to wait and see.
And then what are some of the economic policies that voters here are waiting to see from the third term of Shinzo Abe?
The most focal point here is a consumption tax rise from 8 to 10%. Now, from a European point of view, it might sound very, very low, but the last time they rose it from 5 to 8, there has been a devastating decline in Japanese consumption behavior. The fragility of Japanese consumption behavior was a lot weaker than what we all expected. So this is a very, very delicate move, and of course, increase of tax is never very popular as a political move. But we must do this in order to hold some and show the discipline to the world that we're trying at least to do something about our debt ratio.
Now, as we saw from the reaction in the markets, investors seem to be reassured by the prospect of more economic stimulus. What challenges still lie ahead for Abe to deliver on those promises of growth?
Quite a few. Firstly, if you look at the external factors, there's a lot of unknown factor, like in Europe, as you were just reporting, and also in the United States, there's a political instability there. So, of course, the external factor is always something that Japan is prone to. So that's one thing. Secondly, again, as I said before, the trajectory of the third arrow, which is structural transition. Now, is it really progressing nicely? The answer is no. So there's going to be a lot of tackle. There should be more tackle from the opposition in this regard. But unfortunately, for LDP, the opposition really do not have the capability and ability to tackle this point.
Thank you very much, Seijiro Takeshita, for speaking to us from the University of Shizuoka. And we do apologize for the quality of that video coming in off of Skype. Now we're going to wrap up this business update with the story of the smiley. The happy face icon was actually a French invention, and the family that patented it is still raking in the cash. Alex Jennings reports.
They're round and yellow and they go by many names. Emojis, emoticons or smileys, whatever you call them, you might be surprised to hear that they're a French invention. The Smiley company is based in London. It was set up in 1972 by a young journalist writing for the French newspaper François.
Every morning when you're reading the papers or listening to the radio or watching TV, it's only ever bad news. So I wanted to point out the good news. They told me it wasn't possible. How are you meant to point out the good news? So where there was an article with good news, I'd draw a round smiley face next to it.
Frank Lufrani patented the smiley, and from a few designs came millions of avatars around the world, each with its own character and quirks. There's even a Che Guevara emoji. Since then, they've become a powerful branding tool. In the Lufrani Smiley family, the son has taken the helm and expanded the company's reach. In less than 20 years, he's popularized the emoticon with mobile phones.
I inspired a movement, and then it was reinvented and redeveloped by other companies. It's something I'm pretty proud of.
Smiley Company is now one of the world's top 100 licensing companies, with more than 260 licensees around the globe. Its annual retail sales top 230 million euros, and it sells more than 23 million products each year.
So you're smiling there, Unka.
I am smiling, apparently thanks to a French inventor. Who would have thought?
Thanks for that. That's Unka there with the day's business update. And it's time now for a